The streets of Culiacan, North Mexico on 17th October 2019, when the Sinaloa cartel turned out like an army to battle and defeat Mexican security forces. Gunmen who said they were there that day told us that they were using US-made guns. Other criminal groups across the country have told us the same. Firearms are heavily restricted in Mexico, but the government says an iron river of illegal weapons is heading across the US border and adding to the violence here. Now it's trying to stop that river at source. On Wednesday, it announced an unprecedented lawsuit against 11 arms manufacturers, among them famous names like Colt and Smith & Wesson.
What is Mexico looking for with this lawsuit? That the companies compensate the Mexican government for the damage caused by their negligent practices, that they develop verifiable strategies to monitor and discipline their distributors, because the companies argue that when the guns go out, they don't have any responsibility for them, but they do.
The government says arms manufacturers should include security mechanisms in their guns to track and check who's using them. They should also pay for media campaigns and programs to stop arms trafficking. At the moment, the government says they're doing just the opposite, knowingly profiting from a lucrative trade.
They are developing models for narcos so that they use them for narco trafficking. They are designed for that. They have different aesthetic and functional features.
Mexican officials know they might not succeed. A 2005 US statute gives gun makers widespread protection against civil liability claims. They're hoping this time things might be different because their claim comes from outside of the states. And with at least 17,000 murders in the country from guns traced to the US, they say they have to do something. But the government admits that gun makers are only part of the issue. Mexico also has a really porous border with the United States, and armed traffickers have told us that it's really easy for them to get their weapons across it and into the country, even under the noses of Mexican officials. So until that border has toughened up, guns are still going to flow into the country. The foreign minister told Al Jazeera that's something the government's also working on. It will need to. The lawsuit won't be enough on its own. John Holman, Al Jazeera, Mexico City.